morning, friends. It's Tracey and Violet from Tea Time with Tracey and Violet. Get over here, Violet. It's 5:30 in the morning. Here she is. And I'm about to have my morning coffee. We just got back from a walk. It's snowing outside here in Nova Scotia. I have you down on my coffee table, so I'm not meaning to look down on you at all. My hands probably look humongous when I go like this. But I'm going to have my morning coffee. I don't have a tea. I have a coffee. Come on. Yeah, it's a cold one. It's Monday morning. Oh, that's delicious. And I just wanted to talk about a book I read this weekend. I read it in one day. I just wanted to switch it up a bit from what I had been reading. I read The Road by Cormac MaCarthy. I read this all, in one day. It was one of those book hangover days. I had another one the night before, but I won't talk about that book. I'm talking about this book. This book, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this. I didn't know about the book until later on. I seen the movie years ago and really liked the movie. It's kind of a heartbreaking, lonely kind of movie. So I was like, oh yeah, well, there's a book. I gotta read that book. I'm just gonna look when this was made before. Vintage International, Vintage Books, a division of Random House, Inc., New York. Book designed by Peter A. Anderson, manufactured in the United States of America, 78, 77, 76. First Vintage International edition, copyright 2006. So I don't know. But, The Road. For those that don't know about it, I'll read the back of it so you can get kind of the gist about it. The searing post-apocalyptic novel destined to become Cormac MaCarthy's masterpiece. A father and son walk alone through a burned America. Nothing moves in this ravaged landscape, save for the ash on the wind. It is cold enough to crack stone, and when the snow falls, it is gray. The sky is dark. The destination is the coast, although they don't know what, if anything, awaits them there. They have nothing, just a pistol to defend themselves against the lawless bands that stalk the road, the clothes they are wearing, a cart of scavenged food, and each other. The Road is a profoundly moving story of a journey. It boldly imagines a future in which no hope remains, but in which the father and his son, each the other world's entire, are sustained by love. Awesome in the total of its vision. The Road is unflinching meditation on the worst and the best that we are capable of. Ultimate destructiveness, desperate tenacity, and the tenderness that keeps two people alive in the face of total devastation. Yeah, it's kind of depressing, isn't it? But it's a very moving story. It really is. It's about this father and son. I don't even think that you'd know what their names are. And I read it really fast, and yeah. Anyways, they're in America. It doesn't say where. I don't know how long after some sort of devastation took over the world, but it's an ashy plain of what used to be America. There are some trees, but they're coated in ash. And I'm telling you, this book's atmosphere, holy cow. Not very many books hit me the way that this one did. The Woman in Black's atmosphere did, like that atmosphere did. Dan Simmons' The Terror, the last end of it especially, did. But this even more so. Like, I was following this man. It doesn't say age or anything like that. following this man and his son. His son, I'm guessing, is probably like 7 or 8. I don't know. Um, and they push around an old shopping cart, like grocery store shopping cart, trolley, as some people call it. That's what they're pushing around. Everything is burned, so there's no way to farm or anything like that. So they scavenge homes and wherever they can. Now there's hardly anybody around now. People have either died or moved away. It doesn't really explain what happens. They have to be on the move all the time though, because there are some people around, but there's bad people around. Some people have turned cannibalistic. There's blood cults around, I think it was mentioned in here. And it showed a glimpse when they were hiding in the bushes one time of a band of these bad people had human slaves pulling a wagon. There were bare naked people chained up behind. And it's freezing cold out, like it's freezing. And then pregnant women were walking behind. I think it was a blood cult or something. And it was just barbaric. So these are the kind of people this father was trying to, well, obviously not let his child be exposed to or anything like that. There's no chance in heck it would turn out good if they ever did. So this story is about their travels trying to get to the coast, and as the book says, they don't know if they're going to find anything there. And it's about their day-to-day things that they have to do. Now, it's almost like the America in here is like the third character, like Sex and the City. I explained this to my husband. He's like, is that like Sex and the City? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you know, how the city of New York's the fifth character, or I don't know. I never really watched that show, but it was a joke off of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like the whole atmosphere in this book is like a main character, because I felt cold reading this book. Now, at the beginning, it wasn't quite snowing out. It was just cold, like deep fall. And everything is barren. Some houses I come across, they've already been ransacked. There's nothing. And when I say they're scavenging, they're not only scavenging for food, which is extremely hard to find. Occasionally they'll find something, but it's extremely hard to find. They're looking for blankets, they're looking for clothes, and especially looking for shoes. It focuses a lot on shoes, like because when I say there's nothing, there's nothing. And just the occasional kind of house that they come upon. So there's not a whole lot to say about the story, it's not the kind of story that, oh, there's a beginning, there's a peak, and then there's an end. It's just you follow along what goes on with this family. And there's a few flashbacks when, like, the father's old enough to remember the America before. The little boy was born after this travesty hit. So he doesn't know what life was before this ash and burn. But the father does, and he has flashbacks, a few flashbacks of when he was a child, and a flashback when the boy's mother was alive. And it's just heartbreaking. The whole story is heartbreaking. It hits you right in the heart. Full on roundhouse. But I have to say, there isn't like a happy ending in this kind of a story. But you get to see, and the perspective of the father, and what he wouldn't do for his son. And I just couldn't imagine being in that situation. And sometimes they would travel along the road and find a secluded house, and they go in and it's been ransacked, but there's still some stuff left behind. And there is a way to get water, like from a creek or something, to heat up on a wood and have a bath, but that's very, very, very few and far between. And there's a point in this story where they come across a cache, like somebody was a prepper or something like that. Not so much, but just like a cache out away from the house kind of thing. And I'm just like, just stay there. Just stay there. But they can't stay there. And that would be terrifying to have to live that way. They're scared if they stay in one spot for too long, people are going to find them. Because the people that are left, they're often not the good people. So I picture this man and this little boy pushing around this squeaky old shopping cart, you know, the metal kind of shopping carts around, and having nobody around. And imagine not talking to somebody for like a year, because that's what the father ends up saying, something to somebody that comes around them, and he realizes internally, you hear this in his mind, that's the first person I've talked to in over a year, besides his son. Like, the population has disappeared somehow, and you don't ever really find out what happened. You don't know if there's any hope anywheres. You don't know anything about the rest of the world. He's just trying to set a goal for his son to move south because it's cold where they are, and he thinks, you know, if they get where somewhere's warmer, it'll at least be one less thing he has to contend with, because holy cow, when it turns winter here, they don't got proper footing. They have their feet wrapped in plastic bags and paper and things like that, and it's snowing. It's full on snowing. Violet, don't get all upset about it. It's just a book. It's just a book. Oh, the microwave stopped. Just a minute. I'm defrosting some roast beef for supper tonight. There, yeah. I just wanted to talk about the book because I'm thinking, God, if I was him, that would be a miserable way to live. And I'm talking about the father. Because you want your child. I'm a mother of 6 children. I have 6 children. I have 1 grandbaby. I couldn't imagine being in a predicament like that when you lost everyone in your life. The house and stuff, yeah, that would be hard, but I'm just like, everyone. I'm not even a social butterfly. I'm really not. I don't really go talk to a bunch of people or anything like that, but to really be alone like that, and the only people, well, there's other stragglers like them, they assume. They don't meet any, but there's got to be other people like them. Good people, but loners and just trying to make it. The only people they come across are not good people. Not necessarily the cannibal people, but not good people. Gangs of people. But it seems like all the bad people eat people, if you know what I'm saying. And to try to hold up that hope for your child, like there is something better and we're going to it, when really he doesn't know. He really doesn't know, and he's just trying to live day to day, moving towards the south, but it's hard moving when there's no transportation or means at all. So why don't you go get a drink of water? Anyways, I just wanted to talk about this book. A book chat, right? Not so much of a review. I would recommend it though. I have a whole slew of, I say end of the world books, post-apocalyptic books, apocalyptic books, zombie books, you know, those sorts of books, and this was one of them. and I just picked it up one day, and I didn't put it down until I was done, just about. So it's quite an emotional book. It doesn't make me cry, but it's just, well, I've never had a book that made me cry, but it's just like, wow, you know, takes your breath away in a sense. Not a good situation. It's kind of a horror book in that sense. Like, this is more horrifying to me than a monster or something like that, a ghost, that sort of thing. This is horrifying to me. Have to live that way. So, anyways, have you read this book? I'm just curious. Did you enjoy it? When I seen that movie years ago, I don't think it's even on Netflix or anything, but I seen it years ago. I didn't know what it was. I was just like, oh, you know, like I really liked apocalyptic stuff, and it said the end of the world or, you know, something. And I watched it, and I'm just like, and I really liked it, but it was like, oh, it's one of these kind of movies. It's one of these. There isn't really a happy ending at all. There is no happy ending to these kind of movies. How could there be? And Violet, go get a drink of water, would you? And then when I seen the book, I'm like, the book is the same. So I haven't seen the movie for so long. I would like to watch it again. But yeah, I would recommend it if you're interested in having a heart punch. But yeah, I do recommend it. And it's not that long. It looks kind of long, but it's not. But it's really fast read too. Like it's a lot of conversation between the father and son, and then description about where they are. I don't think this, oh yeah, it does. I was going to say, there's 287 pages, but it doesn't seem that long at all, so. Anyways, I guess that's all I'll say about that. I just wanted to talk about it. This will be in my November wrap up. I have a few more books I haven't even talked to you about that I read, but I'll get to it. So anyways, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose, but if not, that's okay too. I still love ya. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, oh, yeah, 6:45, so I got a busy day today, and I got a big roast beef to cook, and get kids ready for school, and a whole bunch of other things. So with that, I'm going to say have a good night, or have a good morning, and I might see you tomorrow. Bye. Bloop.